Hey there! So this is a very special episode of my Tech Boy blog. This is kind of an unofficial Q&A. Bar none, the most frequent question I get asked on my tech blog is, what are those boy you're using? So today I am going to show you guys how to build these. It's not terribly difficult, but as far as I know there's not another tutorial on how to do this on YouTube, so I figured why not. So, I have already built one of them. Ta-da! And we'll go through the pieces here so you can see what exactly this is made of. First and foremost, this is a hollow vinyl stage ball from Dubai Juggling. I think these are like 10 or 11 bucks a pop. This is a I believe it's a 3-inch ball. The ones I normally use are 3.5 inch, but I deliberately went with smaller so I'd have a portable pair to play with too. Or at least a more portable pair. If anybody knows of a store in the DC area where I can actually buy these instead of having to order out for them, please let me know, because that would be the far preferable option. Next up, we have rubber chair tips. These, quite frankly, I have never found a hardware store that doesn't stock these. They come out, they're just these little rubber dinghies that you stick on the bottom of any kind of furniture, chair, etc. Finally, we have about 30 foot of rope. This is from REI. It's just typical general purpose rope. Once again, I think this is like 10 or 11 bucks. With 30 foot of it, you can easily make 6 or more pairs. And then the actual tools we need to make this. We have a screwdriver, scissors, pair of pliers, Sharpie, utility knife, Scotch tape, or rather masking tape, a lighter, and my trusty power drill. So, step 1. We take our stage ball, and we are going to need to cut a slit in one side of it, drill a hole in the other side of it. The drill bit I'm using for this I think is a 3/8 of an inch, and I'm actually going to do this on the floor, which is going to be slightly out of your range of view. Sorry, I don't have a coffee table, but we are going to look for a spot. I usually go as close to the seam as I can. And now we have a lovely little hole on one side of it. Go ahead and take our utility knife and find a spot that is roughly on the other side of it. And once again, right along the seam, you're going to go ahead and stick your utility knife on into it, cut a hole. Technically speaking, I suppose you could do this without cutting this hole on the other side, but I find it vastly easier to get the required knot work through it. And the size of the slit I cut on the other side is roughly a third of the circumference of the ball, like so. So, next up, we have our rope, which will very, very easily fit through this hole now. And you actually want it to be able to fit easily enough, because I discovered this at Fire Drums this past year. You can do more contact tricks with it if it can rotate freely inside of the socket. So now that I've stuck the rope in, I'm going to split it open as such, and I'm going to push the rope through. If you need to, you got your pliers to pull it through. If not, great. And you're just going to tie off a simple square knot. Like such. And now I'm going to pull that said knot right back through the slit. So now you have your rope nice and anchored inside. To measure out how long it's going to need to be, I find a good rule of thumb is actually to measure it out from my chest to the very tip of my thumb, like so. At that point, take some masking tape and tape it off so it doesn't fray when we cut it. Take your scissors, cut it right down the middle. And take your lighter, go ahead and melt off the end. It's okay if a little bit of the masking tape burns. Just to melt off the end and make sure that it's nice and even. Now we're going to take our chair tip and our power drill once again. We're going to try and get as close to the middle as possible. It can help to do this with a guide hole. But either which way. I now have my furniture foot with a lovely hole in the middle of it. So, I'm going to take the other end of my rope, poke it through. And once again, we are just going to tie off a simple knot. And I found that the amount of rope that it takes to tie this knot, generally speaking, works out to be just enough so that when you pull it on down, pull the furniture foot over it, it now magically lines up with your thumb joint. So, we now have a new poi. We now have a new pair of poi. And if I've measured them out right, voila, they should be roughly the same length. This one's a little bit longer, but we can pick up some of the slack on it. So, yeah, that is how you build my poi. I believe Ronan, well, I got this design from watching Ronan videos, but I don't know who originally came up with it. It might be Ronan, it might not, for all I know. But, yeah, so if you like this, you now have complete instructions on how to do it yourself. I believe some people super glue these seams back up. I prefer to leave them open in case there is an example like this one where we need to change the length of the rope slightly. So, there you have it. Poi in less than 10 minutes. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and have a good one. Thanks for watching.